Hello, you're in the know with Eon Temple. In this video, I'm going to be speaking on Kanye West's new album, Jesus is King. This album, he has a track called Water, which is a track that many may not fully understand the deeper levels of it, just like how water is deep itself. On the surface level, you hear Kanye West speaking about his experience with water and how water is something that he's very familiar with and something that he relates to. But the track goes even deeper if you dissect it. You first see in the first part of the track, he says, "High as the sun come out." And in this, he's talking about how the transition from the moon to the sun, I can see that he's referencing a lot of things, even spiritually, and how water plays a big part in most spiritual practices. There's some type of liquid involved, whether it's in Christianity, you have baptism. Also in other religions such as Hinduism, they have their annual, or I don't know exactly, I don't want to misquote it, but they have periods where they go to the Ganges and they do their own type of baptisms, and other religions too that practice water, because it's an essential thing. I mean, we're 70% water, right? And this plays a big part in Kanye West's deliverance of this track. He talks about clean us like the rain in the spring. So what does that really mean? So this means he's really going into the depth about how water is so pure and that it really washes away our quote-unquote sins, and it also is a substance which purges us from the inside and out. The spring also represents a rebirth, rejuvenation, you could say, of life. And it's essential for all animals and all inhabitants. The next line, he says, take the chlorine out of conversation. I think that's a very powerful line. Me personally, I believe that we just have too many filters and too much surface level talking. We're talking about foolishness most of the time, and we're not getting to the root of the issues, and we like to, dodge around and play around with things when at the core we know what's really causing it, but we want to act like, it's just these things happen, or whatever the case may be. And it's also a deeper meaning, of course. Well, you have the actual literal meaning, like taking chlorine out of water, because chlorine itself is harmful for our bodies. We should not be taking so much chlorine. So it's a really good idea if you get a filter, and even if it's a Brita filter, I'd suggest something more expensive, because I don't really trust these filters like that. But yeah. But basically the whole chlorine out of conversation is just about, really just getting to the root of things and really having deep conversations, with people, and not being so surface level. And he also speaks about let your light reflect on me. So what is water really? What does water really do? What is the substances of water? How does it really affect itself and onto other things? So the reflection of light that comes off of water, it's very distorted. It's very, you could say, all over the place. The wavelengths are like basically matching the water itself. It just shows you how powerful water is, and the true nature of water is forever bending and changing in shape and not allowing anything to control it. That's why any seafarer, any shipmaster, any captain that goes on expeditions, they know that their life is basically up to the whims of water, because you can't control water. Water does what as it pleases. It's a very nurturing substance, yet it's a powerful force. I mean, millions of people get killed every decade, or however much amount, I don't know specifically, but it just shows you how powerful this force is, and that it's two sides of the coin, duality, that it can affect nature in so many different ways, right? Then he says, I promise I'm not hiding anything. This means basically just the whole substance of water. Water is something that you can't lie to it. It's gonna do as it pleases, as I said before. Water is a substance which is very transparent. You can't hide yourself in water that easily. I mean, it is possible, I guess, with a certain lighting, but in the clear of day, you can't hide yourself. Water, you can see right through things. So it's just about transparency, and I believe Kanye is basically speaking about even with his experience that Kanye's a very transparent person. A lot of people might see him as this crazy person or this person that just does what he wants, but it's basically in his nature that he's gonna tell you how it is, and he ain't hiding a thing. How he feels about things, he might not come fully out and say exactly what he's saying, but he's leaving messages in his songs, and you have to read between the lines to really decipher what he's speaking about, right? And then after that, he's saying, yeah, it's water. I promise I'm not hiding anything. It's water. We are water, pure as water, like a newborn daughter. So it just shows you the essence of water is just very, the true essence is very nurturing, of course. It starts off, it's still, it's very solitude, it's very, has solidarity, sovereignty. It's very, it's very calm in nature, of course, and this allows, life to be born. I mean, there's a bunch of theories going on about how life started, and it started with water essentially. We're made mostly out of water, as I keep saying, and I'm gonna keep saying it because that's why you need to drink your water. Also, he says in the next line, the storm may come, but we'll get through it because of your love. So, he's speaking more metaphorically, of course. He's talking about how these storms, they come over us, and we're in the midst of the storm. If we don't have a compass of love, it could easily just consume us and devour us. So if you always have love guiding you, you can never go wrong in life, and that's in any situation. As long as you have faith that life is gonna always work out for you. No matter how shaky it gets, because that's all life is. You have to get rocked sometime to get to your higher truth, your higher self, your higher purpose. And then he says, either way, we crash like waters. So even when we get to these high places, we will always fall back down, just like the tides, high rise and low tides. The moon moves the water high and low. It's a constant shift, but it's vital. It's the only way we know we have any type of contrast, any type of idea what it's like to be high and low. You wouldn't know the high without the low. That's what I see from it. And the whole crashing of the water, it shows how much force and how much power we have just as water, and that we might crash into any situations, but it's how we get up and how we we evolve and transcend from them situations. Then he goes into basically saying about your love's like water, it's pure as water. We are water essentially. Jesus flows through us. Jesus healed the bruises. Jesus cleaned the music. Jesus please help. So he's just saying, he's speaking about Jesus, right? I mean, Kanye West has been going on a tour basically. He even went to Jamaica. Was speaking about Jesus, doing concerts for Jesus, and he's had basically what's the word? He's had a revival, a newfound inspiration from God, or what he perceives as God through Jesus, and how Jesus has impacted his life. However, he's also saying that how people rely a lot on Jesus, that the society spends a lot of their time just focusing, externalizing that power instead of realizing Jesus is really within. It comes from with this power that you're seeking. You already have it, right? So this is why Kanye's saying things about Instagram, and people do it for the gram before they do it for themselves. Like you're living your life for likes, and that's what has caused so much problems in life. Realistically, we're all individuals. We all came on this planet to do our own thing, not to just do it for just because we think, oh, somebody's gonna like it and get self-validation. It's not because of that. We do it because we genuinely like to do things. And you really got to ask yourself, why am I always looking at other people's pictures? Why am I always like trying to get likes and or watching likes and whatnot? You really got to ask yourself that, and where the energy is coming from, right? So he says, Jesus, please heal. Jesus, please forgive. Jesus, please reveal. Jesus, give us strength. Jesus, make us well. Jesus, help us live. Jesus, give us wealth. Jesus is our save. Jesus is our rock. Jesus, give us grace. Jesus, keep us safe. I mean, you can interpret yourself what he's basically saying, but it's just about, as I said before, also externalizing your power. You have to realize Jesus works through you as well. And a lot of different cultures they have different relationships with who they deem as God and what God manifests through them or to them as. But it's important to realize that you need to thank yourself when you're doing things. You're the one putting in the energy. Yes, you're like the water, as it says. You're the water in the bottle that's been moved, right? But at the same time, you are that force as well that's moving it. You have to realize all things are connected, and you have the power in yourself to do it, yourself as well. And giving thanks, of course, to higher powers, but realizing that you play a big part in it as well. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment and subscribe, share it to your friends, to your peeps, whoever, your brethren, them, all them people. And yeah, tell me how you felt about the review, and if we want to have a conversation about your opinion of it, just hit me in the comments below and I'll get back to y'all. Anyways, thanks for watching. Salute and little more.
Traveling man, moving through places, space and time. Got a lot of things